month. I'm so excited. I'm working on, and I'm sweating. So 10 items that you're going to do every day. So your ability to graduate Ignite. Now, nobody's going to make you graduate Ignite. Nobody's even it's going to be on you. The success of graduating Ignite is not just coming to all of the classes and going to WITSE and doing that. To make money is through your 10-4. Now that I said that, does anyone remember it now? You do, Brinley. Oh,
it's like doing, I think, 10 phone calls a day, and then and like I can't remember what the other things are, but doing it 10 times a day, each of them. Yeah. And then I don't remember anything else about it. I just remember you have to do those tasks 10 times a day.
Contacts added. And then I don't know if the fourth one is 10 likes on social media.
Today, connection means two ways. Okay, that can be on social media, so it can go back and forth. If you DMing them, that's totally fine. Everyone speaks a different language. I do believe your highest level of communication is face-to-face, voice-to-voice. 10 instant messages are one voice phone call. And if I don't have so much time, so 10 connections a day. Those 10 people, and that's your database, or clean your database. Cleaning the database means you're going to make sure you have the right information there, because actually probably the most important stuff that you can take from, honestly. And you do have to hear it 10 times. And I'm so excited because we're changing the training program starting in January. In my development of it, we'll share with that in a minute. 10 connections a day. You're going to 10 people to make sure that you have a name, phone number, email, and physical address. This is the big four, is what we call this, big four. And I have bad handwriting, so you guys just get this. We're going to do the big four last. Who do I have saved in here? I have people that are like, Ari, KW. I don't have her last name. I have no idea. Name. You're going to want their phone number. If you've been DMing them, get their phone number. If you can't, do you really have a connection? Don't tell yourself the story that that's not the way they talk. You don't have to do like Facebook Messenger with. We end up on Facebook Messenger through the whole transaction because that's just how we started our communication. But and if I'm not, what do I need to do to help improve my relationship and give to them to where their phone number? You feel guilty because you haven't earned the right to ask for it. So what can you do to make that relationship? Phone number, email address, and physical address. These, I read book, the MREA, he talks about having 200 people in your database, and it's so important. The reason they want to have 200 people in your database is because for every 2 people in your for every 12, how many closed transactions should you get that year? 2. That only works if you have your big 4 and you've times a model and a system. You've communicated with them 36 times properly in that year. You will get the result of 2B. Does anyone remember this? 1 X action done, and 1 will be a referral. These numbers actually do make sense. I can almost cut it every time. So systems and the model. So this is why your guys' base is getting built here because of that. Maybe you don't get all 4, right? So still do it. So go back into your database and go, oh, I don't. You're going to need to soon. You may not have built enough rapport, but don't tell yourself the story. They don't want to give it to you. They cheat them of it, and then their address, but go in and clean it up. And then you're going to tag them. Okay. So there might be, I don't know, ex-boyfriend Joe that somehow got into your database. Now you get to delete him or archive him. So that's what you're going to do. You want to clean 10 a day. So you have a system. Here, we're not sure what's most important. You're going to take, and I got to connect with 10 people in my database. I've got to, after I need a phone call, text message, whatever that is, and we get our response, and we're going to go in and we're going to clean up 10 people out of 10 handwritten. Don't judge me because I think there's only one. Okay, this is the one you're going to have a tough time. This is where people fail. I love it. Feedback.
Oh, good. Okay, sorry, back to the database for the address. This is a great time because it's almost Christmas, right? And you want to do Christmas cards. So I've already been texting my guys. Get ahead and get everyone's addresses. That's a lie. I want to be able to write thank you notes for Thanksgiving first. And then do Christmas cards. So everyone copy me because I'm cool.
Wedding invitation list, that would work. You want to know what I did? I learned how to use the county website, which is what you guys need to do. And it's because I was trying to get 200. We get our bulk discount at 200. So if I sent 190, it was going to cost me double. If I sent 200, it cost me all these neighbors, but I'm going to figure out their address and their address and their address. But you can go through and find them but if they don't give it to you, it's not the same. I don't have the same relationship like Ella has with hers. That's so good. She's asked them. So what she did was she's asked her peeps what their address is because she wants to get her. She wants to get, and instead she's going to be sending them out thank you cards for Thanksgiving. That's 2 of your 36 touch. And you talk to them to get it. There's 3 of your 36 touch. Check that out. Boom. This is a... Sorry, this is a mess, but you guys are catching you're catching what we're putting down. So I'm just going to put Thanksgiving cards. I always like any kind of gratitude card. Just go to the stinking dollar store. You don't have to go to Target. You just go to the dollar store, buy a bunch of cheap ones. Buy stamps and decks. So I really do like whatever from the mail, whatever they call it. USPS. Yeah, USPS. You know what I'm talking about. And sometimes they go. How did you do that? I don't know. That's pretty incredible. Incredible. And then Christmas cards is a great one too. So for us too, we do a touch at Christmas, like our Christmas state. When I do my Christmas card, I'll hand deliver something for Christmas, and then my Christmas card, just let it be family. Like that's just at Costco. Like let it, like they don't have to be expensive for if you want to do family photos. If it were me right now, letters. And if you need help with that, we already talked about, I think you guys probably already heard that I've negotiated with the office that you color letters sent for $100. That includes the print, the labels that it'll need, and the postage. So come see me if you want to do that. We do have to have 200 at a time to be able to send it. 1045. Okay. Out of our 10-4. Connor, right? This is per week. So these are every day, 10, 10, 10, and 10 homes a week. MLS, your feet get inside. I think you should be seeing at least 10 homes a day on the MLS. If you're not, your houses. That's what we sell. Walk through them. Yep. You can. You should be on the MLS every day. Send those listing alerts to yourself. Oh, walking through 10 a week. So just a week. Or you can just look for stuff that you can actually do a search for vacant, so you're not disrupting homeowners, and so all vacant homes. But that'll give you the chance to get into the homes, because you won't know until you start to go to the house on somebody's lawn next door. You won't see any of that stuff. You have to get to the house to understand it. So, and then you're practicing your Supra by yourself without your qualified clients there and all of those pieces. Yes. We're not covering that today, but yes. Your Supra guide. I agree. I think it sounds fantastic. Perfect. It sounds like you'll put it on the calendar for us and WhatsApp group. Thank you. So good. So this happens, and this is actually how you're going to make you. Because at the end of the day, I only work with people who want to work with me. And it's cool. If you don't want to play my game. So if you decide you want to accept this challenge, this is day 1. Isn't today November 1st? Yeah. Like, throw down this sucker and you do this. This is what will lead you to money. You can sit in class day and be a really great student. Do the homework and don't cheat yourself of it. Track it yourself. Independent contractors, and you have an awesome support system, and we want you to win. So if we do this, how many contacts are we going to have by the end of the week? 50, and 50 in our database. How many weeks are in November? 4.5, but you get to take time off for Thanksgiving if you right? So we times that by 4. How many are you going to have in your database? 200. And what is so important? You will basically, if you do all the right things, and so just about no way that you can't make $100,000.
What's your Thanksgiving and your Christmas? Say anything about real estate?
Just with my Christmas cards, I just send them as my personal card. Like, and for my team, we send instead of it being like a deal. We've sent several of gratitude ones that we just thank for the I'm lazy. I've never handwritten my Thanksgiving ones. I have sent them as a gratitude thing. My friend Andrew comes, if you guys ever see him hang out with me. I don't know if you've ever seen him. Long hair, super cool dude. He is the person I have. Because real estate changes normal people's lives. Not selling real estate, owning it. This is why we're passionate. As an assistant manager for me at the restaurant, not for me. He was one of the managers that came from another store. So we trained him and he went back to that store. 14. Not with me, because I had just gotten my license. It's okay. But he bought this little house and FHA Utah housing loan. It's not a great loan. It's pretty crappy. And he still bought his house. Well, he bought that house for $124,000. We sold it for him 2 years later. Where's Jenna? This is the 2-year mark that she's talking about. At least 2 years so he can sell it as a primary residence and not pay capital gains. If he sold it at 18 months, going to be some stuff, but he's going to have to pay tax on that money. If he stays there 2 years, he stayed there 2 years, sold it for $170,000, $50,000 more, even though he was in a crappy loan to start. We took that $50,000 and he went and got a conventional loan, 10%, right? So we've now moved from a yucky loan to a 10% conventional down loan. Awesome. He still had mortgage. About 6 months into it, we challenged the mortgage insurance because his values went up because we got him such a good deal on it. We helped him challenge some more. 2 years after he bought that house, we sold that house for him and ended up making, so we bought it for $220,000. We made roughly $100,000 off of that. I just want to ask you, can he go to his boss and ask for a $100,000 raise? Real estate changes people's lives. What we do matters. So he was able to take that money, right, like these over here, totally undervalued, walked into it with $50,000 of equity, was able to, monthly payment is like $700 a month, and he rat holed all this money. So he quit the restaurant because he didn't want to work there anymore. Now he doesn't know what day of the week he is, but he does my birthday cards. That's what we were getting to. And he does do my handwritten birthday cards right now. So he started in 2014 and we're in, so maybe less than that at the beginning of last year, but he didn't need to be working. So he moved into there into 2021. But it's huge. Like if we really think about it, you're letting people continue to rent. They're paying $2,000 a year. In 4 years, they've wasted $100,000. Because we didn't have the guts to say, hey, I think you should be we didn't study and get our scripts right so we could actually communicate with them the value of how important it is. Like it's so, okay. That story was important. I know I got off track. Super important though. Okay, 10. I feel like I'm missing a piece here. Is there anybody who wants to commit to this? Raise your hand high, own it. Are you in? Like, you're in. I'd like you to write it down. Ella is going to be the person that you're like, hey, I got my stuff done this week. You don't have to chase them. If own their production and own their success and own their results, they're going to come to you once we can be, I'm on. If you want to build yourself a spreadsheet, you can. I'm not good at that. This is the way my life looks. Keep them high. And if not, get with her and she's going to get you contact information. 10:55. I'm so going to. Oh, I'll listen to it later. I didn't get yesterday's call listened to because it was during team meeting. I tried stuff to try to get through and I can't get through it. Okay. 10 homes a week. We did our big 4. I feel like we really dug into entrepreneurial versus purposeful. Entrepreneurial, I'm going to show up, and if they tell me to be in a class, and purposeful, committing to this, getting a spreadsheet, checking it every day, and touching base with your coach. When someone like to do this, she will be better off. Ella will be better off because she has to show up now. She's going to be held accountable and her business will grow. Realize that when you have stand up and own it, your business will grow. 2017, I was in charge of Power Up and calls. So I had to be here every single morning. No one showed up every day. I showed up every day and had to do it because I had committed. I was the leader to do it. My business freaking exploded that and one other agent, and I think we closed close to 350,000 in gross commission income. With like, because I was yourself, when people don't show up to prospecting, still do the work. Don't let people distract you, because your business. And we're growing leaders. I'm not always going to be in this position, you guys. We gotta make sure we have a PC code. Okay. Oh, I gotta hit something. Okay. 6 minutes? Suck. Okay. But we're getting quite a bit of studying on this stuff. So I'm also reading, one of my other growth strategies is I'm reading something laws of growth from some Maxwell dude. I my list. I'll have my full growth strategy soon. Okay, making being learning based your there you go. All right. And you guys are all here. You're already, you don't have to sit in every class. There'll be a time, Jenna, too. We kind of talked about this recently. You can sit in the same class and you'll learn. Don't ever tell the story you have to stay in the class. If you get there and you maybe aren't aligning with the instructor, but make good use of your time. Think, what's the 20% I should make an impact on my life, whatever it is, in my business? What is the one thing I should do? And is this the very best place for me? Be careful, because you do need to have all of, can do all the things you need to do, but you don't have to go to everything. Look at what's the thing I actually need to learn about, and I'm going to be there. And get here for command basics, and then go make your calls. I will never be offended if you're sitting in one of my classes and go, like, make sure where you're at matters. You can sit at class all day long. You also have to go make money. So make sure that there's a balance to that. But I'll just tell you, I will never ever be offended if you're of my time right now. I thought I was going to come here, Clay, and Angie's here instead. I'm cool. You're good. One that has to decide that, though. And if it's not here, what is it that you need to learn? The results that you get in 2024 come from your knowledge and skill right now. So what is it that you to get the result that you want to get in 2024? What are you missing? So you don't have to come to every class, but I want you, if I want this result, if I know that my results in 2024 is good, what I know and my skill level right now, my knowledge and skill level right now, what is it that do I need to study Excel? Do I need to study command? Do I need to study contracts? Do I need to be able to talk to somebody? Do I maybe need to get my health under control? Maybe I need to lose 20 pounds. That is a priority so that I can show up and have the right energy. I have to get out the door. Whatever it is, take a little bit of quiet time. You guys know the answer. I'm not going to be the one that tells you. You'll know, like, oh, my kitchen's a mess right now and I don't have clean clothes. Like, is anyone feeling that right now? They're just going to commit to I can. Is that what that said? Oh, constant and never ending. One of our values at the restaurant was relentless improvement. I felt like that was just like so important every day. If we're not, I'm so grateful to be in this role. If you would have asked me 6 months ago, I wouldn't have believed that I was dying, but I was not growing. Remove your limiting beliefs. Unlimiting beliefs is when and the possibilities for success. And it's something I have to work on every day. I just barely got a thing while I was at Her Best Life back in September that just said, why not me? This is actually a limiting, but especially awkward. I'm all the things, right? We kind of talked about all the things. So when Kevin wouldn't even say hello, I wasn't even cool enough to hang out with like the sci-fi guys. I was like, what's wrong with me if even the sci-fi guys aren't going to hang out, right? We have to get past our limiting beliefs. Why not me? Why? I will say that Jonah, whatever, what's that one? I'm not scared. I was born for this. Good. That why not me is actually something I've been saying. I don't know if I hadn't have been, if I would have gotten that. This month has built me to do that. I'm so, so grateful.
The introverts, like many of the top agents are introverts. People who are not social are social. Probably because they're more focused. If they can lock down
systems, tools, and people. I'm behind you and acknowledging them. I think that's the other thing is if we're not careful and we tell ourselves a story that we don't need keys in the same place. Why would I do that? I'm a free spirit. We're going to do it my way. Why would I do it your way? They've created this, what they do. Just do what they do. I do think to some extent too, because from the time I get here to the time I go upstairs, it might take me 12 to 15 minutes to get upstairs because I'm going to talk to you and I'm not on purpose until I get there. I have acknowledged that is something that I just now budget for it. So I put it into my system that it's important to me. I don't get into that. Okay, we're going to talk about limiting beliefs. What's your limiting belief? You're too young. What's the opposite of that? What I love about you, I love fresh new energy. People who've been in the business for 20 years right now are just complaining up a storm. Young blood who's like, all right, let's do this. Let's go get it. That's awesome. I'm too old. Is that a limiting belief for you? So does anybody have that belief here? What's the opposite? What's the truth? What can be? You have so much years to probably walk in and people just trust you. They just trust you. We told this story about when I'd hire managers. The difference even between hiring, I could take a young and I could put you in a white shirt and a tie and people would do whatever you asked them to do. They would walk in and that's just what would happen. Maybe a 40-year-old female and they would not. It was so challenging and they would get. But the reality is I actually felt really bad for the kid because they cheated him out of learning how to be a leader, right? So it sucked because those women would be like, why do they do what he says? Just because he wears a tie. I say he, there's definitely someone specific I'm thinking of, but he then never actually had to develop longevity with his position because he didn't grow. He wasn't challenged to grow. And the female on the opposite side get the trust and work and earn and get the trust and build all those muscles. Trusted her and she is still a GM today. And that poor kid didn't make it because of that. So easy for them. Oh, it's so easy for them. Just like realize that there's a story for each side. And limiting belief and make it your superpower. So how many people 20%. So 80% are awkward, and you can totally connect with them, Melissa. They're your people. Jenna.
Okay, so my limiting belief down and I just solved it. So I have too many like 10-4. But then I just looked at 10-4 and I said, okay, what I need to do every day is I need to right now is if I come into the office and I go into one of those little offices with the lights off so my brain works, and I just connect with every single day, I can, that counts as my 10 connections. I have more than 10 doing. I have like 30.
And then you're going to, and it's important there in your command, because when you write an offer, he didn't go over that today. We're going to talk about it because we're going to kind of shift the way we're doing the program. So, because and then what? Into figuring out what you're supposed to do. You just got free energy. When you have to come and think about what to do next, so this is what I do. This is what I do. Daily. No, this is weekly. Kind of messy. These are daily. So you'll have, at the end of the month, you'll have 200 connections that you've made. You'll have 200 tagged and ready to go so that you can take care of them. Then you're going to have 200 handwritten notes in person. Yes. I do now. I tag them too, but why not send them to you? Why not send them they may, but they know people. So what that also shows them is what you're going to send their people. If they don't want to be in it, they'll unsubscribe. So, and don't get your feelings hurt when they unsubscribe. They're just clearly, they're not saying they don't like you. Like, you have to disconnect from that. That was hard when I started sending emails because I'm like, ugh. So good. Our limiting beliefs. Okay. And be accountable. Eat ladder last week. I actually even have one that I want to bring for you guys that I think is so beautiful, because we have or victim mode and we have accountable on this side. This is where all your power lies. This is where take freedom and power. So I actually, these two areas, this is victim. This, we are creating our life. And what's crazy is we will manifest stuff. We'll manifest good or bad. That is real. Like, you will manifest this right here. Yeah, Ritz, would you mind dropping that screenshot in it? That's a good place for it. And honestly, the minute you can start to hear yourself, but you need to hear yourself go, oh, I'm blaming everybody else. And the problem with that is you are giving your power. We're very powerful creators that have been put on this earth. Like, the power too, but if we peel it back, they may be in your life or they may not. You may be giving your power. Then I'd offer, like, this is on you. You guys have all the opportunities in the world, but be accountable. Be accountable. You guys. And what's the worst that happens? You guys do it and their money. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be horrible? Okay, happiness is not, ooh. I love that one. Have you guys read this book? It's a game changer, The Happiness Advantage. I'll share his TED on unicorns. Oh my gosh, love this dude. He was one of the speakers at Family Reunion a couple of years ago. Yeah, actually, that probably changed my life. It was a good book. Happiness is not an individual sport. I down here at 9 o'clock this morning and see all you guys down here learning freaking DocuSign. What command and their stuff is in command, because if you go into DocuSign from command, you know what happens? All of their contact information gets loaded in and DocuSign. It's so cool. So whatever's happening and however we're getting into DocuSign right now is not the right way. The other thing is, does anyone know about SkySlope? There's videos on the MLS, you know, where I told you guys where all the videos inside the MLS for signatures. You don't ever even have to go into DocuSign. There's cool stuff. A little while, if you are ambitious and you want to know about it, you can go watch the video and do it yourself. But if you want to wait during the next month, we'll cover it somehow. Okay. All right. This is the end of our class. We're looking for ahas, and I will take, actually, I want one from each. You guys, my morning up, and if it didn't make an impact in your life, I'm not sure why I did it. Who wants to go first?
There's a system and I should follow it. Duh.
I'm so glad that class the first time. No. Oh, sorry.
I can plug my busy life into my busy life. It will organize my busy life.
Own your strengths and your
I was just kind of gonna go off of theirs, just owning your strengths and
Yes. Be authentic and you'll have way more success than you are.
Being afraid to ask for in that level yet for the next step.
You haven't given to them. It's not them to get to that level, it's on you.
That's good.
Mine was constant, never-ending improvement has been spiritually in my heart. So that was really cool.
I guess like if they don't want to give you their information and you know you're not having a connection with them, and then also giving cards, really, really good idea.
Can I use the Thanksgiving Christmas cards as my offer?
No, because you came with that. You contributed and you gave us all a gift, but I don't know why I was.
Okay, so I'm not a phone call kind of person, so that's okay. Cards is my way to do meaningful touches, is what I feel like. Now I gotta decide what I'm gonna do January, February, March, because nothing. Yes. I guess.
New Year's is there, and there's goals. Hey, of people, so it's not even real estate. What goals do you have in 2024? My mission is to help connect you with the right people.
Mine is about the systems that you put it and not spending so much energy. And that is just huge. And I thought about that this morning before I came, about having a hook from where to go. So it was like awesome.
Oh, actually, I create this system. I'll never have to think about it again.
Yeah. Beautiful.
What else we got? Come on in.
Go first. I don't want to be left. Just doing what comes naturally or not doing what comes naturally. You know, like I may not know exactly what comes unnaturally right now because I'm just jumping into it, but like the last time, I'm going to do this next time, or, you know, just like working out the little kinks and just make of just crazy, like my brain.
Okay. I think we just accepting that we all have crazy lives going on. I'm a checklist person, very analytical, and I will analyze everything to death. And for me, if I'm kind of like you, I to get such gratification if I can cross it off. I'll just add something just so I can cross it off. Reorganizing it and putting what is a priority at the top and working down.
earn the right to move on. And sometimes that's a really hard one. So powerful, you guys. The thing that I'm excited about our program is we're going to extend that Ignite over 2 months, because to expect you to you get fundamentals your first 30 days, and then you need to begin to execute it on your next 30 days. So learning, and we're growing together in the process of this, and like realizing how to make it be better, how to make it be different, instead of as much action the first 30 days is like fundamentals, and this next 30 days it's like you can kind of start your 10-4 in the first 30 days, but you commit to your 10-4 the second 30 days, and then you'll have the results. That was good for me. Don't tell anyone my handwriting looks like that. My aha, that with you guys was like, how are we developing this program so it can be so powerful and so impactful? We are going to make some changes through the coaching. I don't know exactly what it looks like, the whole program, though. So it's stuff that I've been working through to try and come up with, continue to have the best education and support. And because you guys get me as your coach, I'm just going to make you really care. Like, hate to say that, I don't really like to do burpees, but if I hired a coach, then I would get stronger, and then I would be better when I got done. So it's going to be okay. You guys get along. And I think I also want you to know that I'm very mindful of your money and your investment. So I also am negotiating on your behalf right now, that I think when we get done, we'll you. Oh, you put that into mine.
Well, for me, you have taken the time to build trust with us, because I don't think we can learn anything if we don't. And I think we do trust you. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Angie, you make everything make all of it together. You think you're all scattered, but you have no idea how brilliant you are, because you're pulling together everything there, and it's all making sense. And my business is skyrocketing right now because of you.
That mission, which is my mission is to create safety, love, and acceptance, and I will connection and understanding. Understanding for me is that I do believe my strength. Even anyone on Zoom anymore. But I honestly, I wrote it in my journal this morning. So it's to create safety, love, and acceptance. And I will honor my gifts that God gave me of intuition, my gut, and understanding. Understanding for me is, I believe my gift is I can take really complex and make it super simple and put it on a napkin. And I think that is one of my gifts. And I don't sing, I don't dance, I don't do other things. My gifts that God gave me is intuition, connection, and understanding. While I share my knowledge, allowing others to step into the light and own their power, creating their best life. Love, I'm free. So that's been my last year. I'm a little bit of a hippie too.